Okay, so we are going to go through the update process with the app to update your controller and to update your quad. So I'll try to make this as quick and painless as possible. So let's go ahead and get started. I have the app on. I'm not connected yet. And let's power on the controller. Power on the quad. Now, if you've seen my other video, you'll notice I have this cover off. That's for the gimbal. This one has a gimbal that's not functioning, and we have a solid green light on the side. So I'm doing this video with a Zino that does have some issues, but it's still going to prompt us to do the update, and then hopefully everything will go through smoothly. So let's get started. Let's enter the device, and then we're going to plug in. So location services is closed. We're going to go ahead and allow location services. I'm going to use while using the app. Plug in. So we have a weak GPS. We do have FPV, but we do have an issue with the gimbal. Weak GPS because we're inside the house, so that's okay. But if I move the gimbal, you'll see here, I'm moving it around by hand. So we have FPV, we just have a dead gimbal. So I cannot say the word dead and gimbal together. I say dimble. Dead dimble. Alright. So we can, while it's in this state, you notice it said compass calibration. It will allow us to do that. So I'm going to do it. You don't have to, but just to get that off the screen, I'm going to do it. And normally you do not do your compass calibrations before you fly. You don't do them in the house, but for this sake, we're going to do it. Okay, so now we're all set. The only issue we have is this gimbal error, and it just says the gimbal initialization failed, and restart the drone or aircraft. If I do that, it's still going to fail, so we're not going to do that. So, new firmware for the remote can be used. Please update. So we're going to do that, and I think you guys can see everything nice here. That's as good as it's probably going to get. I'm not going to zoom in anymore. So on this screen here, it shows, you want to see that it shows connected right here, and then you want to read your prompt, but always read what the update is. In this case, it doesn't matter. We're forced to do it. But for this update, it's optimize lease channel switching, optimize photo album online preview, and then note, if the upgrade fails, please restart the remote and app and then upgrade again. So if this fails in any way, we're going to restart the remote and the app and then upgrade again. So let's click download, and it's counting as it downloads. Alright, it says upgrade. Click upgrade, and then you're going to watch here. And then you might see some things pop up on the screen. Going through rather quickly. If it goes all the way through, you're going to see when it gets to 99, it'll sit there for a long time. Okay, so I edited out some of this because it's taking so long, but we're still at 99%, and then you see right here it says disconnect. Now it's gone. So it is doing something. So we're not froze up. Don't think you're frozen. Okay, now it moved to step 3. So it's going to take a long time. That took, I think, it sat there at 99% for like 4 minutes, which feels like 10 sometimes, but it sat there for like 4 minutes, and then we got that disconnect, and it was kind of like restarting, I guess, that connection between the lease, maybe, I don't, or between the device and controller, I don't know. So now it just says upgrade is complete. Please manually restart the transmitter. So we're going to just shut it down. And again, this is version 1.1.1 if I didn't say that. That's the latest version for the controller. Restart. And this part right here might confuse people because when you restart, it does nothing. The app doesn't change. It doesn't. It should tell you to restart. Please manually restart the transmitter and then restart your app. But if you just restart the transmitter, you might think something's wrong, but this is what it does for the controller and the quad. When the update's done, it doesn't tell you what to do next. So you're not frozen here. You're done. So we're going to close out the app. Open it back up and see if we get an update message for the quad. Yep. So new aircraft firmware can be used. Please update. Now it says please update. It should say you have no choice but to update. So we're going to upgrade it. Click OK. And it's not doing anything. Oh, I didn't even read that the first time. So I have to have my SD card in. Now, if I recall, on the computer, I think it tells you not to have the SD card in. I feel like I've done this with and without the SD card. So I have the SD card in there. And now let's click upgrade. So that was my fault. Download firmware files, but that's a lesson for you. Make sure you have the SD card in. Okay, it's downloading. And this version here is version 1.1.8, and this is pretty funny. While it's downloading, I'm going to read something to you. It says, pay attention. This update optimizes firmware upgrade and the probability that the camera parameters cannot be switched. If any update issues are normal, please contact Hubsan Service Personnel to guide you. Oh, personnel to guide you. But I'm sorry, I got hung up on this part. If any update issues are normal, please contact our Hubsan Service Personnel to guide you. So they've changed this obviously because it did say, no, here we go, I'm sorry. Here's the other part that's comical. Before upgrading, please keep the phone connected to the transmitter. Please make sure the transmitter and aircraft are fully charged. During the upgrade process, please do not unplug the USB cable. Please make sure the app does not enter background. Nope, they've removed it. It did say that we're going to lose something with our imaging, so they've changed it. It doesn't say that anymore. But now the way they've done it is pay attention. This update optimizes firmware upgrade and the probability that camera parameters cannot be switched. So I guess that's their correction with the camera parameters. And then they say if any update issues are normal, please contact our Hubsan Service Personnel to guide you. I think they mean abnormal. So again, it's just comical. We're going to click upgrade and let's see how this goes. Click upgrade, the quad automatically restarts. And remember, this one has a problem. I have a solid green light. That means something is wrong, and usually what they say in the user manual is green light means bad update. So we want to have a yellow solid light on the side when I'm all done. Now, while it's doing this, you'll see here different stuff. This one here says return. You'll see, I think, a sensor fault. Different things. So that's nothing to be concerned about. There's no problems. This, so far from what I've seen, is completely normal. So what we want to see here is we want to see this go all the way to 100 without freezing. So it restarted at 24%, and now it's carrying on. Some people have had it where it freezes and it does absolutely nothing. You sit for a long, long time, as long as it takes to where the battery here dies, which is a long time, and it still doesn't fix the issue. So my gimbal just moved. I like that. Still dead, but it moved. So people are having issues with it freezing up, and if we do have that problem, which I kind of hope we do have that problem, I'll show you what to do. But if it freezes up on you, you can simply shut the quad down, leave all this alone, shut the quad down, turn the quad back on, and then it'll resume. If it doesn't resume, shut everything down and start everything back up. Close your app, restart your app, reconnect, and then continue the upgrade from that point. If it doesn't prompt you to update again, that's where you're going to find that you have a issue where you might need to go to my firmware or my video where I unbricked it and use the recovery files. Because if it doesn't come back and tell you you need to update, there is an issue. And I think that was the issue with mine when I bricked it. I say bricked it because it was completely unusable until I could get that recovery firmware. So I don't know if that totally qualifies as a real brick, but it was bricked for me. I'm calling it bricked. So we're sitting here at 74%. And the way you'll know it's froze up, basically, even though you see life down here, you'll get a funny chirping sound from your ESCs. It'll be each one of them chirping individually, and then the motor's pulsating. They'll make a little pulse movement. It'll continue doing that. It will not stop. If you sit here and wait for it to stop, your controller's going to go dead on you. So you just restart and try again. So we're at 99%. Our light's flashing on the side, red and green. I don't like that combination. No, it's red and yellow that I had a problem with, I think. I can't remember now. I think I have it written down over here. Mine was yellow and red, yeah. So actually that is yellow. Yeah, so we're flashing yellow and red right now. So that didn't work out for me so well last time when I had that combination. But we're still going here. We're not done. Let's see what happens. I'm hoping that they just did a bad update when they did this in the factory. I'm hoping they just did a bad update, and that's why my gimbal wasn't functioning. We have FPV. We're bound. It showed some life during the update. So hopefully after this update, when I restart, hopefully we'll have a gimbal that's working. Okay. Solid flashing. Both front and back lights are flashing. Now we're solid. We have a red light on the side. Now we have a yellow light and we're flashing again. And everything is done. We have a yellow light on the side. That's beautiful. We have red light solid, flashing blue lights. That's normal. So now we please manually restart the aircraft. So everything is done. Nothing, no activity on the app. We're going to restart the quad. And hopefully that gimbal comes to life. So if the gimbal comes to life, I'm going to add this part of the video to my other video where I have a dead gimbal dimble, and remove it and try to fix it. So I can show the fix is nothing to panic about if it's just a firmware update. Fingers crossed, guys. Nope, I heard the noise in the gimbal. So I'm going to wait and see what color light I have on the side. Solid red to back to green. I think that's green. Yep, it's green. So I'm in the same state. Now let's go ahead and just double check what we have here. See if the firmware all updated properly. So we can at least have a successful firmware update video for you here. So we still have the gimbal initialization failed. Please restart the aircraft. We already messed with all that. Maybe we'll try a calibration, but I doubt that's going to solve it. So let's just go check out the firmware. Make sure all that's good. You can't see because of that. I wish I could get rid of that. There we go. Nope, won't go away. So version, can't see, but it's 111 for the controller. We did that, and then 118 we did that. So here's our two versions within the controller, and then here's our versions within the quad. So everything updated, successful. You're good to go. And I just want to go to the gimbal and just see if we have an error. Okay, so we have error 0x0080. So this will be a whole new video in itself. How to fix gimbal error 0x0080. So once I find that solution, I'll have another video. I can do full-time videos right now just on the Zino 2. So I don't mean to scare anybody. I hope none of this happens to you, but I'm doing everything I can to make videos with solutions so you have everything you need. So I'm very busy right now. But the firmware update was successful. Everything went fine. Seems like they worked out some of the bugs there where it was freezing up the way it was, and you should be good to go. So hopefully everybody else, when you get your Zino and you have to do the firmware update, hopefully everything goes smoothly. Just remember, fully charge your battery, fully charge that battery, fully charge your cell phone battery, and it didn't take that long. So we're at about 25 minutes now, and the video is done. And that's with me doing some of the extra stuff. So thank you everybody for subscribing. If not, hit that subscribe button now. Click that bell and all for future content. And as always, hit that thumbs up on their way out. And I greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to continue working hard to bring you more Zino content. So enjoy. Take care.